Jayanagar, it was a very quiet residential place. There was a lot of the arts and everything happening, or the culture part of it happening. In fact, my brother studied in Kumarans when Kumarans started. It was called Sri Kumaran Children's Home, SKCH. How much was it? 19 rupees 25 paise. 25 paise was the bus charge. In that, you could watch, 3 people could watch a movie and also pay for the bus to go back home and still have money left.
You've been a Jayanagar boy all your life?
I was born in, I was delivered. My mom delivered me in the government hospital in NR Colony.
Oh.
Jayanagar was where I've lived right from my birth. 7th block Jayanagar. I lived there till about 2009. That's my dad's house. It's still there. Built in 1964.
Wow.
It's the second house on that road. There was no road as such properly.
Jayanagar must have been, while you were growing up, like a seat of culture, and it was also it was the largest planned residential area in Asia.
In Asia, yeah, the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one. Jayanagar wasn't what it is today. It was a very quiet residential place. There was a lot of the arts and everything happening, or the culture part of it happening. There was a lot of the people living were also rooted in tradition.
Yes.
So that you see those traditional values coming to the fore. And even Basavanagudi has its old charm, but this was the first layout which sort of had that
fully planned roads and everything.
Very neat roads and tree-lined avenues and things like that. So there are lots of trees. I still remember, we used to play this game called Markoti.
Yes, I know Markoti.
Climb trees, and so you could climb trees. There were so many trees, and you could go from one tree to the another tree. That was how it was. Yeah. We could just go to any of our neighbors' houses very comfortably.
Yes.
We don't even need to. Today if we have to go into somebody's house, we wait at the door and things like that. We would just barge in. We would just barge in, we would go in, and especially when we were playing games, sometimes we want to go and hide. Go inside somebody's bedroom itself and hide, under the bed. I still remember I would go to my neighbor's house, and I knew they would eat a little early. Their dinner was a little early. They would be making fresh chapatis. I would just go there, grab one chapati and come out, and I would be playing and I'll start eating. And just look at what has changed, a very simple thing that I noticed. The compound walls between houses, independent houses, were just probably about 4 feet high.
Yes, correct.
Okay, that's what it was.
Correct.
You could jump over it. There was no grilled, the windows had some grills, design, whatever design that was there. Beyond that, there was nothing else. Today, if you look at it, every house looks like a self-made prison, sort of, So you've got walls erected, grills, everything. Yeah, safety is important, but that is the change. Right? It's also, so we are also sort of shifted from being so connected to being very siloed.
Yeah.
And at those times also, we still in my, in Jayanagar house, right opposite my house, there's a cluster of houses called a Vatara.
Yeah, we've heard about it, multiple,
So those houses are still there. Some of the houses are still there. And I still remember, there was a cow shed, cows and buffaloes out there. And every morning they had fields. They would actually, take the cart, tie the things, and then go. They had a haystack out there. And, and people were living out there. There were so many different people living. And somebody was speaking Telugu, somebody was speaking Tamil, the Kannada speaking. Everybody would coexist so beautifully is what I felt. And they would support each other.
Yeah.
They were there for each other. I think that has shifted is what I feel, especially in a city like Bangalore.
What would you do as a kid in that area? What were the things that you would do?
It was playing on the road. That's it. There were few other boys around and play cricket, lagori, I Spice, kalumano.
What is kalumano?
Kalumano is a game which is there. I don't know. Nobody plays that.
I have not played this. I played all the others. I don't know what is kalumano. Yeah, I may have played it. But
kalumano is, you all stand on the stone. And one of them is out there.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I know this. This is crocodile, can I cross the golden river?
Very similar to that. But it was kallo or manno, and then you're supposed to stand on that. And if you move out of that and they touch you, you're
out.
You're
then
out,
you're the dead.
Then you are the one who's got to.
Right.
Yeah. So
okay.
My cousin's house, they were also staying there. We would just hang out and do, mischievous stuff out there and get beaten.
Like what kind of mischief?
Things like go into the house and open the ghee dabba. I open the sugar dabba, take the ghee, put it in there and run. So we've done a lot of those things. I used to be fond of bananas.
Okay.
So even now that's my go-to fruit. Even runners especially banana is like the safest fruit. I love that. And my mother knew that wherever she puts it, bananas in the house, I would go and figure out where it is and I will make sure I finish it. She actually got those bananas and put it in a cooker because she thought that I will not check the cooker because she had to safeguard it. Some guests were supposed to come and something was there happening. And I got my cousin also, who's 1 year younger to me, and we both went into the kitchen. It was bolted. We opened the kitchen door, went in, and I figured out where it was.
How? You were able to smell it or what?
I don't know how. We figured out 3 bananas. I ate 2. I gave him 1, finished, and put the skins inside and went out. Mom got to know and belted me later.
What was belting like? Like slap or like cane or ruler? What was it?
It was usually with the hand on your back. Either your shoulder or your back or on the butt. So that was a standard thing that I would get. Or with your kadiomantu, where you have this to make your buttermilk.
Oh yes, that thing.
Yeah.
You go like that. Yes.
You turn that around and
oh, that's solid.
Yeah, you have got it. That's the kind of stuff I used to do. So,
Okay, and you went to which school?
So I studied all through in Kumarans, the actual Kumarans in Tata Silk Farm. That was the only school. In fact, my brother studied in Kumarans when Kumarans started. It was called Sri Kumaran Children's Home, SKCH. It was known as Sri Kumaran Children's Home. And it was started somewhere in Jayanagar. It was actually a home.
Oh, okay.
And that's where it started. And then it moved, they moved to another, they constructed the school, and that is the largest school in Tata Silk Farm now also. You have the old school there. And that's where I studied, right from nursery to 10th standard.
What did your dad do?
My father was with Indian Telephone Industries.
Okay.
So he was actually from Hunsur, after Mysore actually. And then he migrated to Bangalore. He moved here. Somewhere in the 50s, 1950s. Okay. He was staying somewhere in near on Model House Street.
Okay.
I think it was Ratna Vilas Road. And then from there, they built the house, so they bought a plot and, so in Jayanagar, and then, raised funds and even today I remember him saying so many times that, 100 rupees short, we could have put one more room on the top. So
100 rupees to build a room.
And he said, I wanted to take a loan, but I could not get a 100 rupee loan at that time.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you would go to school how? Were you cycle, bus? What was this? Or walk?
There was only one cycle at home, which was the big cycle,
The big handle.
Old handle. The actual cycle.
The actual cycle.
You needed human power to actually ride that. And
it didn't have gears. It didn't have anything else.
Nothing, and it had the dynamo. You had to have the light at that time.
Right, the dynamo is to power the light.
If you ride without the light, the cops would catch you. The cop would catch you then. So you had to have a dynamo, and even before the dynamo, they used to have a box where you would light the lamp in the front.
What is this? I have never seen.
I've seen that cycle. My uncle had that, and they would light the lamp. So when you're going in the night, you had to actually light that lamp and ride. Because somebody else walking or something should be able to see that
something is
riding actually. Right? There were no street lights or anything at that time. So, and then the dynamo came, and then so there was no other mode. We had to walk to school. We were walking to school, and to walk to school, you had to cross KR Road. KR Road today, the way it is, it will take you time to look and wait for traffic to stop and cross it. That time, empty, nothing. And there was that Industries. Even today, some of the industries are there. That was an industry out there.
Okay.
There was a foundry, and every evening we would get that 4:30 was when, the smoke billowing out of that foundry out there. But because there was nothing in between, we would get the horrible smell, every evening. You know it is 4:30, and then the siren in the morning, siren at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, the work siren.
The factory workers would actually start, all of that, the siren, you don't even have to see the watch, clock, whatever.
Right.
You would get that, all of that. And we would walk to school. And initially, of course, my mother would drop me, or my brother would drop me. And my brother was also till 7th standard. They studied in the same school, so we'd go together,
right.
Take me along. But later, my mother would actually drop me in the morning.
And when you went to school, your mother would pack dabba for you?
The beauty of that was, there was, during lunch hour, there was no packing of lunch. She would get lunch.
She'd come there with lunch.
A lot of the mothers would actually come there, and they'd come and wait for lunch hour, and then give the lunch. And once you finish lunch, take it back home. They would do that.
This is a personalized dabba service.
And the principal, she was called Mother. Initially, it was Arya Devi, and then Meenakshi Balakrishnan, her daughter, actually took over. And when Arya Devi was there, she was extremely, insistent on the parent not feeding the child. And she would come and actually take the parent to task. Give the dabba, stand away, let them eat. Even though other parents hadn't had the experience, the moment the principal walks out of her room there, all the parents move away from the gate. That was how it was. Imagine how, today we don't see that, happening at all. That was also out of respect. And also the school was very insistent that kids are not given money. They should not be eating out there at the shop or picking up something on the roadside and eating something. I actually had an incident in high school. My brother came and gave me lunch, and we had a guava tree at home.
Okay.
My mom had cut that fruit, put half of it in the dabba, and I'm eating it, and my physical trainer, PT teacher, he came and gave me one, hit me. And he assumed that I had bought that on the roadside, there at the shop. I informed my dad about this. And 2 days later, my dad and my brother both came in the afternoon.
Fight.
Met him. He advised him actually. He said, this is not the way. You need to inquire what happened and then take it up. Physically hitting a kid is not the right way to do it. So I still remember that incident, and and the way he handled that, it was not to fight, it was not to argue, there was no argument. And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I think I assumed," and this one. It was a very nice, conversation that happened. I was witness to that. I stood there and I witnessed. There was a hero pen at that time.
Ink pen.
No, the ink pen.
Yes.
Hero pens were very sort of
sought after.
It was like, you have a hero pen, it's like, whoa, my dad got me a hero pen, it's like, great.
Yeah.
That's something that we would actually, it's a prized possession actually at that time. I remember in my class, there's another girl who lost a hero pen, and she went and complained to the teacher that I have stolen the pen. How does the teacher handle this, So I actually, I still have the letter that the teacher wrote, the dairy note, and the response that my dad wrote back. It is a beautiful, what a wonderful conversation that has happened, or an exchange that has happened.
On letter.
Letter, I actually have that here. So it says to the parent of Vinod, the pen of your son, hero in brackets, black color, is under some kind of a dispute. That is, one of the students in the class says that the pen belongs to her. I'm not suspecting your son. I'm unable to settle it. You please send a letter to me whether the pen belongs to your son or not, and oblige. Thanking you sincerely, yours, R. Kausalya, class teacher. And he responded, and my dad had this habit of writing a draft. I always saw this many times. When any letter that he would write, he'd write a draft, then make a neat copy,
fair copy.
that, and write one more copy. Even though he had carbon sheets, all of that, but he would write the exact copy of that. So this is a copy that he has written. This is dated 3rd February 1981. So 3/2/81 to the class teacher, and he says, referring to your letter, I wish to place the following facts relating to the pen Vinod is having. So then he writes about how this pen was put together. You know, it was actually an old pen. There were 2 old pens, and he says, my eldest son, there's a box full of old pens, parts, nibs, all of that. He assembled things and gave it to him. So he got it working and gave it to him, and that is the pen he has got. Okay? And then he says, after going through your letter yesterday, I conducted a detailed inquiry. Okay? For more than 1 hour. After dismantling all the parts of both the pens and inspecting them, I am convinced that Vinod is having the same pen repaired and given by my first son. Okay, so he's clarified that, you see the amount of time he has taken to do this. He actually did an inquiry. He asked me, where is it? What is it? Come on, bring it. And then he opened everything, he said, he called my brother also. All of that whole thing happened for 1 hour in the evening, so. And then he says, anyhow, I am sending all the parts, including the broken ones, of both the hero pens, for the satisfaction of the girl who has lost her pen. If she is convinced after inspecting these parts that this is not the one lost by her, I shall be very happy. I tackle my children very seriously, even if they bring home a piece of sticker or a postage stamp given by their classmates. Because like any other parent, I am also aware that if we protect our children when they are at fault, it will have a very bad effect on their future. I am sure with the above facts, you will be able to settle this issue and convince that girl. I can understand the feeling of that girl having lost a costly pen. Lastly, I thank you very much for the nice letter you have written, not using even a single word which would displease a parent. No teacher can do anything better than this. I shall be happy to know the verdict given by you after studying the facts. Thank you very much. And my class teacher responds to that. And she says to the parent of Vinod, thank you very much for writing a reply, placing the facts. I was able to convince the girl who lost the pen. She also agreed to what I said. I always feel that certain things should be handled tactfully. You have done it. Thank you. So,
fabulous. What a story. And you've preserved all of this.
I don't know how I managed to preserve this. Because, and he has also responded on 4th. So this happened on 2nd and 3rd and 4th. So it's a 3-day event that it's ongoing.
Oh, man.
So imagine, it's like today we have things trending on social media and things like that. And this was trending at that time, 7th standard in my life at that time. It's like, and then my dad replied, thank you for patiently going through my long letter and judging the case as per its merit. It's a case, it's like it feels like Sherlock Holmes, it's like.
Yes, superb.
The language.
Wow. Would you go out as family to eat? To watch a movie maybe?
Today, going out to eat is just because I don't feel like eating at home, or we're not cooking at home, we go out and eat. Then it was actually an event.
An event.
It was an event, you really look forward to going out and eating. I still remember 4th block Jayanagar in the complex. There was I think it was Hotel Airlines or something like that.
Okay.
There was a restaurant there. I remember, going there was like,
big deal.
Whoa, it was like a party or a feast actually that way. You get to order masala dosa or something like that, and maybe a sweet, and that was like a grand event
so
at that time.
Cute.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense of when the darshini started happening or when these places started to come up?
I think it was somewhere in the 90s is when that started coming up. There's this Deepak nursing home. Now it's Deepak Hospital. That was the only nursing home available in that area actually. And it was, even today when you take a bus from the Banshankara or anywhere, that stop is called Deepak Nursing Home. And there's a small canteen there. Bhatru would make idlis out there. I've still not tasted idlis like that even today. That way they would actually prepare. And I think I still remember that because after my NCC in National College there, we would all get coupons to come and eat. So so we would come there and actually eat idlis. So after our parade and all of that, our practice, and then we would come there.
You did NCC in college?
Yes, I was in NCC in college.
Did you shoot a rifle and all of that?
Oh yes, firing was one. So we went to that firing range after HSR. On the left side, you have the defense area, right? Twice I'd been there for firing. And the second time I went there, we actually had to pick up all the metal. We used to lodge the 303 rifles in 4 block police station. The beauty of that was we would all go from National College Jayanagar grounds to Fort Block Police Station, in that formation, and ek do, just go there, pick up the rifles, come back, finish the parade, then again go back, deposit it there, and come back.
You have that rifle book or something, no? The NCC
Oh yeah,
book?
I have the Cadet's Diary. So this is from 1985. It says I bought it at Subhash Stores. Subhash Stores was the only place where you would go and buy books and things like that. That was Avenue Road. I did a lot of first time things out there, especially in college.
Yeah, like what?
Like going on stage. My first time, being part of the cultural committee. In school, I'd never part of anything.
Right.
In college, NCC was one. National College Jayanagar built a new auditorium then. HN Kalakshetra.
Oh yes, right.
Dr. H. Narsimaya is the founder of National College. A true Gandhian. He would walk everywhere. He would not take a vehicle. Walk everywhere barefoot. As part of the whole inaugural thing, there was an inter-class drama competition. And this was actually a small book written by Belur Krishnamurthy. I was playing the role of Chitragupta. There were two Chitraguptas and Yama there. And what an experience that was. And I think that was my foray also into sort of being interested in theatre and cinema and something. It was a great first, is what I feel.
What was it around National College around that time?
Around National College was residential area actually, houses.
Right.
And on the other side were parks. Lovely parks. The whole stretches,
Parks.
from south end all the way to the other end, Rajalakshmi. It was Rajalakshmi Nursing Home then. And now it is Rajalakshmi, I think it's a convention hall or something. The nursing home, the hospital is on the other side now, behind. Initially when they started building the metro, I was like, why? Why here? Why are you, disfiguring this whole thing actually? It's like.
Was sports a large part of your life in school? Was it did you guys do inter-school competitions and stuff like that?
It used to happen. I was never.
You were not part of it.
I was never part of it. I did not even think that I would want to go into any of that.
Okay, I have a fun question for you.
Yeah.
Which word in the English language has the most meanings?
Okay, story.
No.
The word story, no?
No. Run.
Okay.
It's got 645 meanings
Oh, really?
in the Oxford English Dictionary.
Oh my God.
And you do it barefoot.
Right.
Why?
I tried it with shoes. I ran for about 8 years. 6-7 years with shoes. 7 years almost. I think I changed brands, I changed shoes. And there was always something, sort of restrictive and there were some issues with some pain in the long runs, especially as a shoe was like 4 or 5 months old. I started seeing that, it is not really okay. Once I shed shoes, all those problems vanished. My timing actually improved without shoes. I was able to sort of feel very free and I was able to sense what muscle groups are engaged, how much force am I putting in, how much energy am I investing in when I'm running. Sort of like going back to childhood also. When we were playing on the streets, there were we didn't wear chappal, shoes, whatever. We were playing on the road, the ball is going to go out there and then there are lots of empty plots then with thick, shrubs and growth out there. Ball goes in, you go with the bat, barefoot, you go in and you search for the
then
ball.
Then you come back, remove the thorns.
Yeah, remove the thorns. Yeah, we were doing that. So COVID was when I moved to barefoot running and switched to barefoot running. Roads were very clean, nothing happening on the roads in Bangalore, COVID at that time. So I switched to barefoot running and then I wanted to do a barefoot full marathon. And I was like, at some point I need to do a 42. How do you sort of get to that?
How do you get to that?
Yeah, so I said, okay, first thing is to sign up for a 42. I had not signed up for a 42 at all.
Okay.
And I said, okay, go to Ladakh. Anyway, you're going to enjoy the mountains and go and trek and all of that. So do that. And then it hit me, I think it'll be a great experiment to do
the ultra
for the 72. 42 to 72 is not this one. Anyway, I can do a 42. This one is going all the way up to Khardungla, 32 kilometers and coming down 40 kilometers. And it has got 14 hours of time. I think it is doable is the thing that popped up in my mind. And I said, okay. And I had stopped doing city runs. City runs were getting very boring. I've run Mumbai thrice and Bangalore and all of that. So I said, mountains are a different challenge altogether. That's how 72 happened. I ran the blue, that blue carpet, people screaming, it was a very emotional experience. And I crossed the finish line, 11 hours, 57 minutes. And anything below 13 hours, you qualify for the
Ultra.
122. The 122. If you have done this under that time. And I knew I had qualified, but I did not pay much attention to it till Feb this year. Somebody asked me, hey, there is this hell race border run. And somebody was doing the 100K or something there, a friend of mine. And he said, so are you doing the Silk Route this year? Mm-hmm. You qualify, right? Suddenly,
in your head, it's like spewing in your brain.
It's like, hey, do you want to entertain the thought of attempting this? And immediately my body is shuddering. It's like, no, nope. Bad idea. And I think about 2.5 weeks later, again, it popped up. It was on that Turahalli side. I run there and there's that nice road bridge that comes, and I'm somewhere near there, and suddenly it pops up. There's a voice inside, there's a lot more confidence inside that says, I think you should run this. And registrations opened. I kept that whole tab open for about 2 days and then went and said, click. And before making payment, you have to make an initial payment. And they said, that's a commitment. Am I ready for it?
Yeah.
And then hit it and said, go for it. And for 2 weeks, I did not really, it did not sink in. And then suddenly, one early morning, 3:30, I suddenly woke up. And then it hit me. I don't even have a run plan. And it's 4.5 months away. What am I doing? And then I said, okay, I need to put a plan together and get started. Get to the start line was the important thing.
I know this part about doing endurance sports. Even when I signed up for the tour of Karnataka, you sign up in June. You know that it finishes, like as soon as it opens in like 3-4 hours, all slots are gone.
Yeah.
That moment when you click and you say pay and you put your OTP, there have been times when I've gone to pay. I've clicked and then I said, no, I'm not putting OTP. I'm not making this payment now. I don't think I'm ready yet. It's that moment of reckoning, right? And
yes. That's a very defining moment because you're crossing that line, right?
Yeah.
You're crossing that line into commitment.
Now you've made a commitment.
Yeah, you made a commitment. You're committing to that.
Yeah. You're now, you teach corporate storytelling. How did that shift happen for you?
After my PU, I actually did my sound and television engineering.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was a course in SJ Polytechnic. So that was a 3-year course. It's a sister course of cinematography. But getting opportunities was not easy. That would take a long time probably. And then I tried to do different jobs, and then finally I got a job in a company that manufactured cinematographic equipment. It was called Vestrex India Limited. So it was a Bangalore-based company.
Okay.
They sent me to Coimbatore for 6 months for training. So my only thing was to learn how to assemble the machine. So it was installation and maintenance primarily of the projection systems in theaters. From there I got moved to Secunderabad. I would go everywhere to theaters, wait for the second show to finish. Because you cannot maintain the machine till in the midst of the show.
Right.
So 1 o'clock in the night is when you would strip down the machine and overhaul it. There are certain theaters with just one projection system. Small town, only one theater and one projection system, and that system is down. So there are no shows happening. So they would call the office and say, can you please send an engineer? You go there, they would treat you like a king. When I went to Hyderabad, the first day I watched a Chiranjeevi. My manager, his name was Ravi there in Secunderabad. They had installed in one theater, and Gharana Mogudu, that was the movie, Chiranjeevi hit movie that had released. And the theater was full. People are waiting just outside just to see the cutout. I think when I started going out there, I have watched Fool or Kante, the first Ajay Devgan movie, 17 times. So everywhere I go, it's the same movie playing. Wait till the second show, sit in the box upstairs or sit in the projection room. Wait when I knew every dialogue. I know when he's going to hit what. So it was actually fun, going through that thing. And then I don't know. I felt I need to come back to Bangalore. So I started off an advertising practice. I did copy. I did design. There was a builder called Upkar Associates in South End. And he used to release ads in Deccan Herald regularly, page 3. And I knew I would take the scale and measure and say, oh, this ad is going to cost so much. Look at the way he's used this space. He used to promote plots in Whitefield. Whitefield, nobody wanted. 25 rupees square foot. Nobody wanted it. It so happened, I was not a guy who'd go and, challenge anyone or anything, but I had a friend of mine and we would both discuss. And then he said, I think you should just walk in and tell him that we can do a better copy than this. I said, sure. I walked into the office and I don't know what I said. That guy got offended. He said, I wrote that copy. You tell him, I'm the marketing manager. And he flipped. And he said, can you get me a front page Solus? And the front page I knew is always a premium. When you open that, see the front page, that's the thing. That space was sacred. I didn't know how to respond to any of that. I was not prepared. I was still a newbie there. But then he said, if you can get me a better copy and a design, I will consider. So came back and gave him 2 options. He took both. He released the ads through this one, and it was called the Design Bureau at that time. So I started doing that, but I think about 3.5 years. So my first computer that I bought at that time, it was 1992. Is an Apple Mac, and
no way.
Yeah, and I still have that. It still switches on, but I don't have a monitor to connect it. I could not buy the monitor. The monitor was more expensive. The Apple monitor was more expensive than the CPU. The one problem with the advertising also is that your payments don't come through very quickly.
Correct.
Always. Even today I hear the same problem.
3-month cycle at least.
I had clients who had not paid for 2 years. So then it was too very frustrating, and I said, chuck this extremely, and I'd burnt cash quite a bit. Then I said, get into the corporate world, maybe pick up a job, and that's how I moved into that.
Okay. And so what do you teach people now? When you say storytelling, what are you teaching them?
So primarily it is leadership. If we have to lead, we have to become real storytellers. And if you have to become a storyteller, it's not about just telling a story is not going to make you a storyteller. How do you shift the way you look at the world? How do you look at leadership? How do you look at people? How do you look at the business? How do you look at stakeholders, clients? That shift has to happen. Storytelling is a deeper psychological science, is what I see. So I come from designing those interventions, helping organizations to sort of build their leadership. The traditional or the conventional leadership will focus on a lot of the aspects that they cover, but I think an internal psychological shift is our way of looking at things has to shift.
So when you were growing up in Jayanagar, what was the movie and theatre scene that time over there?
There were 2 theatres that were initially in Jayanagar around that area, which were the only ones that existed then, which was Nanda Theatre and then Shanti Theatre. These theatres would play different movies, mostly Kannada movies.
Yes.
Rajkumar movies. I still remember Nanda Theatre had Mayura released. Mayura was Rajkumar's movie, a hit movie. And at that time, you actually had to go and wait in a queue and fight for the ticket. We used to come Saturday mornings. They would play Laurel and Hardy and English movies at that time.
What were the ticket prices like? Do you remember?
If you want to look at ticket prices, we need to come to the MG Road side. So English movies were played in these theatres on MG Road, Plaza, Blue Moon, Blue Diamond. And then there was Lido. And I think Imperial used to play, but they were all B-grade movies mostly. Or opera also. But we would always go to Plaza and Blue Moon, and Symphony, which became Shankarnath Theatre later. So, but Plaza was a place which would play amazing movies. So, my eldest brother, 3 brothers, he was the one who was leading us, and my dad had given him money, and we would go to 4th Block Jayanagar, walk till 4th Block Jayanagar, take the bus, get down at the current Kumble Junction, Anil Kumble Junction, walk down on MG Road to Plaza. So watch the movie, the matinee show at 3:30 in the afternoon, and by evening again get back home was the plan. And you wait for the counter to open the ticket. The guy there, it's like starts. He has the fresh book of tickets, The brother puts his hand in his pocket. There's no money. And then he realizes that when he bought the tickets for the bus, he had a 20 rupee note. It was route number 20 also, which was starting from 9 block Jayanagar to Shivajinagar. So that conductor
has written on the back of the ticket.
Change. How much was it? 19 rupees 25 paise. 25 paise was the bus charge. Now in that you could watch, the 3 people could watch a movie and also pay for the bus to go back home and still have money left. And the other thing, which a very small thing that used to happen, especially this was at Shanti Theatre, I remember that. Today's theatres don't have that excitement many times is what I feel. He used to have the screen in front of the...
Oh, the curtains!
The curtains closed. You wait and then the curtains would open. What a moment that was, and when it starts opening. And I would always wonder, how does this work? Who is pulling? Somebody pulling the screen. How does it open on both sides? As a kid, I would wonder. And later when I went into installations of theatres, then I knew, and some of the theatres had it in some of the remote places. And Shanti Theatre also had an initial soundtrack that he would play, an audio piece. And I have tried to hunt for that audio piece. I have not been able to get it. And even before the movie, they would play ads. The ads were not movies. It was slides.
Okay.
So they had a slide projector and 2 movie projectors. And then there was Poonam Theatre that came in 4 block Jayanagar, right opposite the bus stand.
Okay.
Which became Puttana Kanagal Theatre later. And that theatre was, again, it's gone now. The Poonam Theatre used to play a lot of English movies. I remember, Where Eagles Dare and Guns of Navarone, Forstons from Navarone.
Yeah.
So Eagle Has Landed. All the Second World War movies,
Yeah.
So Poonam Theatre would actually play that. And the other theatres that I also remember is in City Market. There was one theatre called Naz. It was in Bamboo Bazaar, somewhere inside. Today it has become Naz Complex. So that was a theatre where my father was very fascinated, or he would love old Hindi films, especially the Hindi songs. And just outside of 9 block Jayanagar was Marianhalli. There was a tent out there.
Oh.
And then it became Marianhalli Talkies, and then that is gone now. It's all commercial buildings now. But that tent used to play, and there was a movie from the 1940s which was called Chandralekha. There's a movie released in Tamil and Hindi. I think those were different
memories.
times actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gorgeous memories. If a foreigner came to your home, Vinod, and you had to show them your Jayanagar, what are 4 or 5 places that you would take them to?
I would take them to Basavanagudi National College is one.
Okay, why?
That's it. It feels like you're going back in history. It's got just walking through that place inside. I think the Ashoka pillar is another one that I would, because that is where, when they laid the foundation stone for Jayanagar, that was installed at that time. And that is one circle which is still there. Jayanagar was full of circles. Bangalore itself was
full of circles. Yeah.
You look at Corporation, Hudson Circle is a large circle.
Yeah.
I think Bull Temple is another one where I actually...
Yeah, you're going all to Basavanagudi.
Yeah, I'm saying that is, if you have to sort of go in that area, that is another,
the Bull Temple.
Another place. Bull Temple.
Eating places in your South Bengaluru. Tell me the best places for dosa.
SLN, JP Nagar.
Okay. Coffee.
SLN itself has very good coffee.
Bonda.
Near the place that I stay now, there used to be this place where they make bonda, bhaji, and
the cart.
all of that. No, it's actually
a shop.
A small shop. He's got a house, and in front of that, in the evenings, he actually makes it. And when it rains, I have tasted that. That is amazing.
Okay. We have something called the Bangalore Dabba. There are some items in that.
Yeah.
Choose a number between 1 to 20 and I will give you the item and you tell us a story.
Okay, 5.
A camera.
My father had an Agfa camera. It's a box camera. And I say a box, it is just a box, and you have the film, and it's a wider film actually. He bought it in the 1960s. Wow. So I still have that box camera with me. And that is the camera that a lot of my some of my childhood pictures that are there have been clicked. And I've got photographs of, Krishna Rao Park. I am sitting, my mom is there and my brother is there. The head is cut off in the frame because it is not composed. You have to see it. It's a small thing and you get to see it from here. And There's no viewfinder or anything of that sort. It's a box camera.
Man,
Yeah, so,
what a story. Amazing. Okay. You were a South Bangalore boy, grown up there, done a lot of stuff over there. For you, what are the 5 wonders of South Bangalore?
I would say the first one is Cauvery water.
Nobody has said Cauvery water till now to us.
Cauvery water. Bangalore doesn't, Vrishabhavati was a river, but there was no other water source except this city of lakes. So, South Bangalore got Cauvery water decades ago. Imagine laying a pipeline, having a project where they get water all the way from Mysore all the way to Bangalore and provide drinking water to Bangalore. The north part of Bangalore got it from Tippagondanahalli. The south part of it got it from Cauvery out there. And I think that's a wonder. It's a blessing, to get Cauvery water. The second thing is about the greenery in South Bangalore itself. I have always felt that, the moment you cross, get into the Lal Bagh zone, the temperature drops.
Yeah.
So couple of degrees. Significantly,
yes.
You feel the drop in temperature. The third thing is the darshinis out there, and I feel the sambar tastes very different South Bangalore to the other parts of Bangalore. I've always felt that. I think number 4, say the Jayanagar complex is
the BDA complex.
Yeah, the complex out there. Now they've renovated it.
Yeah, I heard it's renovated recently.
There was also a fire once. There was a fire accident, and a lot of things got gutted out there. But I think it still has that charm when you just walk in. You can get everything that you want
That is true.
out there.
I have heard,
Or you just walk around the variety of out there, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Number 5, I think it's still the old Bangalore culture which is still existent. I think it is still there.
Yeah.
You just have to get off the main roads and go
inside a little bit.
Inside a bit. You will actually get to see, especially first block Jayanagar and all the Madhavan Park side, that road. It's a lovely road, Rani Sarla Devi School, tree line, wide road. But that road is busy with a lot of commercial establishments. But you go inside, so old houses again,
the independent houses, all of
that. Yeah. No 3 floors, 2 floors, just ground floor, lot of space around with trees, or there are coconut trees, all of that. I think that is also that's a beauty which is still existent.
Available,
Which is available. I would say that's a wonder.
Lovely. We end the episode with a postcard to Bangalore. Yeah. So, if you had to write a postcard to Bangalore, what would you say?
Dear Bengaluru, you have been a true cosmopolitan place for ages. You have been a place where you have embraced everyone who has stepped into this place. You're not just one Bengaluru city. You are a city of cities.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing such personal parts of your life with us.
Thank you very much for having me here.
No, pleasure.
And it was such a wonderful conversation, just going back in time.